Okay, let's begin in a comfortable seated position. Come onto your sit bones, roll your shoulders back, arms either on your knees or on your lap, wherever you find it comfortable. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a breath out through your mouth. A few more deep breaths before we get started with our movement. Noticing your belly expanding with every inhalation. Roll your shoulders back, grounding yourself with every exhalation. We'll begin this practice with 5 rounds of seated cat-cow as a gentle heart opener. So take a deep breath in, lean forward, arching your back, gaze up. Exhale, rounding your back from the tailbone up, bringing your chin to the chest. Inhale, arching your back, leaning forward, melting your shoulder blades together. Exhale, rounding your back, chin to the chest. Inhale, and exhale. One last deep breath in, arching your back, gaze up. Exhale, rounding your back, pulling your shoulder blades away and back to the center. Now take a deep breath in, grab your opposite elbows behind you, and as you breathe out, leaning forward from the chest, folding down. You can also straighten out your hands, interlocking the fingers behind you, scooping your shoulder blades together. But if not, it's absolutely fine grabbing the opposite elbows. Take a deep breath in, rising up, back to the seated position. Now come on to a tabletop position, palms under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Pressing against the palms so you're not collapsing through your shoulder blades. Core slightly engaged. Raise your right arm up and threading it under to the left. Bringing your right cheek and your shoulder to the mat. Keep your hips elevated while you extend your left arm out to the top of the mat. back to the tabletop. Now raising your left arm up and threading it under to the right, resting your left shoulder and cheek on the mat. And extending your right arm to the top of the mat. Come onto a tabletop position and now lower your hips onto your heels in a child's pose. Now inhale, lift your hips, bend your elbows and slide your chest forward into a cobra pose. With an exhale, press into your palms, resting your hips back into a child's pose. Let's do 4 more of these. Inhale, leaning forward into a cobra pose. With an exhalation, reaching back into the child's pose. Moving forward and back with your breath. With an exhalation, tuck your toes, lift your hips into a downward facing dog. Pressing through your palms and finding movement that feels good to you. You can pedal your feet, moving your hips from side to side, bending one knee at a time. Pressing firmly through your palms, bringing your shoulder blades together. Maybe come onto your toes, bend your knees, and straighten them out to stretch your hamstrings gently. Inhale, stepping your left foot forward into a low lunge. Cactus arms, pushing your elbows to the back. You can also raise your arms, opening your chest if you prefer. Back to the downward facing dog. Onto the other side, low lunge on the right with cactus arms. back to the downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping forward into a half fold, maintaining a flat back. Exhale, fold forward, fingertips on the mat, keeping your knees generously bent. Inhale, rising up, arms above, palms touching. Exhale, fold forward, fingertips on the mat. Inhale, come halfway up, palms on your shins. Exhale, stepping back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping your left foot forward, your right heel pressing down on the mat, your toes pointing to the sides, taking a moment to adjust so your heels are in the straight line. With an exhalation, lowering your hips down, extending your arms to the side into a warrior two. Inhale, leaning back, your right palm sliding down to your shins into a reverse warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhale into the reverse warrior and exhale into the warrior two. Back to warrior two. Inhale, palms on the mat, stepping your left foot back to meet your right into a plank. Knees, chest and chin on the mat, taking a deep breath in, lifting your chest up into a cobra. With an exhalation, tuck your toes, lift your heels, back to your downward facing dog. Onto the other side. Inhale, stepping your right foot to the top of the mat. Exhale, arms extended to your sides, lowering your hips down into a warrior two. Inhale as you lean back into a reverse warrior. Exhale, coming back into a warrior two. 2 more. Deep breath in, reverse warrior. With an exhalation, arms to your sides. Back to warrior two. Inhale, palms back on the mat as you step your right leg back to meet your left into a plank. Holding your breath as you lower your knees, chest and chin, taking a deep breath in, shifting forward, lifting your upper chest into a cobra pose. With an exhalation, resting your hips on your heels into the child's pose. Keeping your arms active, opening your chest. Staying here to reconnect with our breath for as long as you'd like. That's all for today's practice. This is where I'll leave you for now. I hope you find this video useful and beneficial for opening your heart and your mind. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you really like this video. I'll see you soon.